Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Sightless Voices, Unleashing Potential. I am your hostie with the mostie, Jennifer Parrish, and today, y'all, we are welcoming back a familiar voice to the podcast. It's Miss Marcela San Miguel. Whoop, whoop. So Marcela first joined us on episode 2, where she shared her passion for advocacy and her desire to get more involved in the nonprofit work supporting blind and low vision community. So today she returns, y'all, holy moly, moly, moly. She has made a transformation. Over the past year, Marcela has actually experienced some personal loss, and then she has stepped into leadership and achieved remarkable milestones, including she is president of the Houston chapter of the Foundation Fighting Blindness. That's awesome. Woo! So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Before we get started, we're going to describe our set for the blind listeners as we usually do. We're sitting in blue chairs with wooden tables beside us. Behind us, we have a white brick background, blue lights, and a neon lighthouse sign. And also, so in addition to describing our set, we're going to have Ms. Marcela here, the queen, describe her outfit for us. So, Marcela?
Yes. I am wearing a green long sleeve dress, and I have on my head a crown and a sash that says Miss Heart of Texas 2025.
Woo! So we're going to get into all of that and what it all means. So welcome back, Marcela. It's so exciting to have you here again.
Thank you for having me back. I'm so excited.
Yes, you were a part of this when it was inaugural and just getting started. So it's so nice to have you back. And boy, like I said, what a transformation. So can you start by telling us a little bit about what the past year has been like for you?
To be honest, it started out great again with the podcast episode and getting involved with all the nonprofit organizations I've become a member of and now a leader of. But also my father, who I mentioned in episode 2, who was born blind in one eye and also visually impaired, he got sick. He started getting sick last year, not too long after the episode was filmed. And so I was traveling back and forth between Houston and San Francisco to visit my family, but obviously spend some time with my dad because I knew that he was getting older and, just making sure I had that time with him. And unfortunately, he got gravely ill around Christmas. And I flew out to see him. In my heart, though, he has been seriously ill before and come back from it. So I really thought deep down that he would recover from whatever illness he had. But there were some things that happened in the hospital, I truly believe, and the timing of the holidays where it wasn't possible for my dad to make a full recovery. In January of this year, he passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
I understand.
And so, the year started off rough, actually, after coming off of high, and then it went to a real low. That was the first significant loss in my life, the loss of my father. And the person who understood me more of a level because we're both visually impaired, but also, I'm a daddy's girl. And so that person that I had all these special memories and he taught me so much. And it was really, really hard. He did pass away in hospice. So we were all given 12 sessions with a grief counselor. And that kind of helped me on that part of my journey of dealing with the loss of my father.
Right, exactly. So how has that kind of shaped your drive and your direction over the past year?
Well, going back to working with a grief counselor, I was very angry, had all these emotions that I didn't know how to express. And actually going back to the beginning of my dad passing and having to help my family organize the funeral. Like there's all these steps too when someone passes. Just
You're not lying.
Physical steps that is already stressful. And for me, that takes a toll on my eyes. I had so many migraines. Plus, I was missing my support. You know, my husband was here in Houston working and taking care of our dog. And so, like, I didn't have my spouse there to help me and be with me during that hard time. So it was really, really hard for me to figure out what to do now, to even process what has happened. But in a way, his passing, my mom was like, okay, we're all going to say something, like you and your sister. But before you tell people, you know, the eulogy or whatnot, she goes, I need you to tell it to me and I will approve. My mom's a tough critic.
That sounds like it.
She's a master critique. But no, so I started writing something and it really wasn't like, it was very safe, like trying to not, I don't know, it just, I guess I wrote something what she wanted to hear. And when I read it to her, she said she didn't like it. And I was like, oh, of course you didn't like it. But at the same time, I didn't either, because I'm like, this is not how I would talk about my dad.
Not from the heart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I put pen and paper down for a while, and then I just was like, I have some emotions. I don't know what to do, but let me try again to, you know, write something. And then when I started, like you said, writing from the heart, it came out like a poem. And I used to write and perform poetry like 20 years ago.
Oh.
So I did that and I read it to my mom and she loved it. And so I knew like that, you know, that's my true way of processing that loss, was to put it into words, to express myself, and to also honor him in a way that is authentic. And he really helped me, like I said, get back into writing. I had a huge writer's block for a while, too. That's been one of my dreams, was to write a children's book. And just poetry. Like, even when I, you know, again, in episode 2, and I started working with Melinda and having some mental health sessions, I still didn't know how, I couldn't even write about how I was feeling about my vision loss. I couldn't talk about it, much less write about it. And then, like I said, it took for my dad to pass to also start releasing all those emotions. And
channel it.
Yeah, into something, like I said, very, very, that's my creative arm. You know, my sister's she can dance ballet and make these beautiful paintings and sculptures. But for me, I know that I have a way with words. And like I said, I used to write and perform poetry, and I'm definitely getting back into that as well.
That's awesome. And I can totally relate to that. My as you know, my dad passed last year as well on the 4th of July. And I, you know, they, right around that time, I'm going through radiation treatment, and we had Hurricane Beryl, and then, you know, like all of it when we're trying to plan the funeral. And then all of a sudden, the Lighthouse comes to me and says, "You want to host a podcast?" I'm like,
right?
For real?
Yeah.
But honestly, like, things like that help you, again, channel the energy.
Yes.
You know, I know my dad would love this.
Yeah.
You know, so how would you say that you started to move forward and channel the grief into growth?
So definitely, again, I had a baseline of counseling with Melinda. So when I had to meet with my grief counselor, which I accepted right away because I knew I needed that help.
Yes, ma'am.
He was, again, that person to listen to me, walk me through, help me process my emotions again. But I was telling him, but you don't know what it is. It's like I'm also going through vision loss. So again, that roller coaster I talked about, I remember last year, it's like now it was like on a double roller coaster, because same thing, like you know, my dad's not here, and it hits you at different times, like all these feelings, or you're just not yourself. Right. Because after he passed, you know, and I was away in San Francisco, not in Houston, when I came back, like I really had no desire to do any activities, to participate. I didn't have the energy. I was forgetting things. I really was not myself. And so talking to my grief counselor, his name is Alex, by the way. He's just awesome, amazing.
Shout
this is
out.
Virtually, yes. You wouldn't think, but you know, we were meeting. He's back in San Francisco. But he helped me realize, I just understood so much. And he just assured me every time, like, your dad's fine.
Right.
And I was like, wait a minute. No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. But my dad is. You know, actually, in reality, he was in a lot of pain, and he was a lot older.
Yeah.
You know, it just, to me, I was like, wait, so yeah, this is actually for me.
Yeah, it's like they say, grief is for the living. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, but it's very real, and I mean, sometimes you don't even want to, because you go out in public and people are like, "How you doing?" And you're like, "I don't want to tell you how I'm doing. I don't want to go back in my hole." So.
Or you hear a song or a memory,
and you'll cry, right?
Yes.
I totally relate. So I'm very sorry to hear that, but there's been some good stuff that's come along since this has happened, and to honor his memory. So you had some big time unexpected wins this year. So let's talk about this crown.
Yes.
Woo! So, all right. So congratulations on winning the Miss Heart of Texas pageant. Can you explain what the pageant represents and what the experience was like? And then what does the title mean?
Yes. So again, I met Miss Kezia Walcott, who is the woman, a pageant queen as well,
Yay.
who started the Miss Heart of Texas pageant here in Houston. But I met her last year at a different event and just stayed in touch, followed her on social media, and then I saw that she was going to produce her own pageant. And I'm like, oh, that is so awesome.
So cool.
Because every time I met her, she has her tiara or crown and her sash. But when she's at all these different events, with the Dash Gordon Foundation, Houston Center for Independent Living, the Mayor's Office of People with Disabilities, and just the reaction I've seen, especially the children that look at her just in awe and smiling.
The beauty
she
queen.
radiates this energy that I was like, oh my gosh, I've never been in that beauty pageant scene or like pretty, whatever, that's what you think.
Right.
But it's actually a lot more than that because, there is, part of it is, showing like some modeling. And I was with my cane on the stage modeling a dress and my hat that says blind.
Yeah.
And then, but she had a question and answer portion. And I was nervous going into it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it or not. But I said, why not? Again, thinking about my dad and all the risks, all the things that he did, and he just went for it. And I said, I'm going to try. It's an experience to have. I don't know what to expect. Of course, I watched Miss Congeniality the night before.
Exactly.
It has
That's
some
awesome.
nerves, and I also started having some health issues. So again, I wasn't feeling my best. But I said, I made these commitments, and I plan to fulfill them, no matter how hard or what it's going to take. But I fulfill my commitments. I'm that type of person.
Exactly.
Especially for someone doing something as wonderful as this, because typically it's like you're not going to see someone in Miss Universe that is, in a wheelchair, or someone that's blind in Miss America. It's just, what is out there for us. And I thought that's something too that's like, I say she's a trailblazer for that. And I didn't know, though, that there were these other pageants. Our MC, Miss Marsha Crosby, she is Miss Bald and Beautiful, and she is definitely bald and beautiful.
That's awesome.
So she also has her own sash. So I became aware of other pageants out there, and I think it's very encouraging to show that, yes, we are women living with a disability, but we can also be, beautiful, of course, but use this as a platform to educate others and to empower others to step out into these roles that, again, you think you're not sure. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure, plus I'm not feeling that great, but I'm going to give it my all. And it really was, everybody coming together. I met other women with different disabilities. The other women, I was the only visually impaired woman. But again, we all helped each other. One of the ladies helped me with my hair. My mother-in-law helped me with my dress.
That's awesome.
Like, we were encouraging, clapping for one another.
Yeah.
And so I'm really looking forward to next year.
So this is everyone. How can someone apply? Is this everyone that's like disabled in Texas, or like how does this work?
Yes, I believe it's for 18 years of age and older.
Okay.
So she will have. It was on her social media page.
Okay, so how can we follow her? Can you shout out her information?
Oh, yes. Well, she has an account, Miss Heart of Texas 2025, and she has her own personal. She is the Miss Texas 2025. But yes, Miss Kezia Walcott.
Awesome.
And again, I'm so
would
proud
love to
and
meet you one day, Miss Kezia.
Yes, this title means a lot to me because, again, it just shows I want to show blind is beautiful, and we all are like living I guess, to our best life, to our best potential, being everything that we can, although we're dealing with certain issues, disabilities, facing things, but we're taking it head on and showing that it is possible. Anything is possible.
Very well deserved. This is so cool. I'm so happy for you. And then, in addition to this, Marcela completed a duathlon.
Yes.
So here's this: 2-mile run, 15-mile tandem bike ride, and a 5K. Like all in the same day?
All in the same day.
Girl.
3 hours to complete.
I'm tired. I need a nap reading that.
Right? I know.
What
That's
inspired
crazy.
you to take on this challenge?
Oh, well, I mentioned again last year that I became involved with Achilles International and the Lighthouse partners with Achilles to host the Tandem Bike Breakfast Socials, which is the first Saturday every month.
Right.
So I've been going almost, of course. I try not to miss any Tandem Bike Social because I love to ride the tandem bike and, of course, get together with everybody. But so I've been doing that on a regular basis. And our chapter leader, Michaela Cueto, she was saying, we want to expand. Besides doing 5Ks and 10Ks, we want to do some races that include the bike race. And so there's a duathlon coming up. It was a Texas City triathlon. So they also had swimming, but we were not a part of that. Mm-hmm. And so she kind of gently nudged me to do it.
That's so cool.
And again, I was like, I don't know. I would need to prepare. I would need to, in a sense, be physically ready. So I said, okay, I told myself, like, I think if I am prepared and I get the help and, that I can complete it. I'm not in a race for time.
Right.
And so I enjoy the tandem bike, but the running was the hard part.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And my least favorite because I'm not a runner.
No, yeah. I would be asthma attacking all over
I
that.
have my super guide, Sarah, and I feel like I love that I'm shouting out all these people. I'm so thankful for all these people to have been a part of my life and my journey, especially after such a heartbreaking loss for me.
Absolutely.
And not knowing what to do, like where to go, really, I was at a loss. And so now I'm finding my purpose and growing and just accepting these challenges and remembering my father because that's what he did.
Oh, and he's going to look down and smile at you, Queen.
Yes. So I had my super guide, Sarah, who thankfully lived close to me. So she said, if we get paired up together, I can pick you up. We can start training at the park near our house and, then offer me a ride home. And
what's a super guide?
I just call her super guide because she's done marathons, ultra marathons. Like she, like a lot of the guides at Achilles are awesome, amazing people. Like
fantastic
that participate.
Athletes too.
Yes, fantastic athletes. Lord. But really, like the sweetest, nicest people I've ever met. So with her help, and trust me, I wanted to give up on the duathlon. The tandem bike was not the problem; it was the running.
Right.
And in Texas City, it's again really hot. There's no shade.
Oh no!
So it was like 10:30, and we're trying to finish. And I was like, feet don't fail me now. But at the same time, I was like, the other F. And I was like, no, I'm not. I wanted to quit. I swear I did. I hate to say that. I'm going to admit it. This is a real.
It's okay to have those thoughts.
This is real life.
Yes.
Our podcast is real stories.
Yes.
And I did want to give up. And I told her, just drag me across that finish line. Because when we're running, we have a tether.
Right.
So I was like, just drag me across. I don't care, But she was reminding me again, like, we have a medal, at the end. Because that, I told her before, I participated in the 5Ks and stuff so I can get a medal. I like things, prizes, obviously.
Yeah, bling.
Trophies, crowns,
yes.
medals. So she kept reminding me, okay, you got to finish to get your medal, the medal. And then you can see your husband and your dog are waiting for you at the finish line. And there's a little bit of shade coming up. And
like,
so,
God.
Shade. And then when we got to the water station, I just like poured it all over my head, like from my top of my head to my body, because it was just, I felt like I was overheating. I tell you now, if you run in the sun, man, that really is like taking a beating out there.
No, not a joke.
Yeah, no. And then at the end, they did have tubs of ice water.
I would be
athletes.
diving in there.
Yes, I did not, but
swan dive.
I finished it. So 5
That's
minutes
awesome.
before it was technically over. So I'm so proud that, I do like to also finish things in the allotted time. So that was
Exactly.
like, as long as I finish by the allotted time, then I consider this a success.
That's a win.
But I had also injured my toe because we were doing great on the training, and she was like, okay, we're going to, we got to a pace to run 1 minute, walk 4, and we were going to move to 2 minutes, running 2 minutes, and then walking 2. And then I injured my toe. And then, so same thing, brought me back down again because we couldn't train as much. And so that's why I was like, I can't believe I was not at 100% full potential at the pageant, at the duathlon. Like I can't imagine like being at 100, but
But you did it. You
I
did
know.
both,
I'm actually,
man.
I will have to say I'm very proud that I was able to complete these and tasks competitions or whatnot, but also win one and not knowing that I was not at 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till she gets to 100, guys. Look
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
She's
I was
going to be
like,
president of the world.
Yeah.
Look out. All right. Well, so if that's not enough, so we got another one here. So
Yes.
she was, Marcela was featured in the She Space newsletter. So tell us about what that is and about the recognition and what it means.
Yes, She Space, a co-working space in the Heights. I was actually also featured to speak there and share my experience as a member. And I became involved with She Space because of another member who happened to have RP, and she was the vice president of Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Uh-huh.
So as I started my journey and started finding out about different organizations here in Houston, I went to an event for the Foundation Fighting Blindness, and I met her. Her name is Mary Catherine Lemaster. Mm-hmm. And so she was having a vision board event at She Space, and I love vision boards. I used to make them with my students.
It's awesome.
And so I was instantly interested in joining this event. And the She Space, though, when you have to see it. You have to see it to believe it. Yeah. It is, you have these bright colors like greens and peaches and pinks and whites, and it sounds kind of crazy like that.
Sounds
but when
awesome.
you go, when you go there, it's so. I feel like it's a creative space. It's a creative space, but it's aimed at women, but open to men, of course. But it just has a lot of features and colors, things, again, kind of more women focused. And so that it really helped me to meet other people that are working different types of jobs, industries, careers, things I've never heard of, thought of, and gotten advice from other people about, my career. So they also were mentioning to me about getting involved with nonprofits since, teaching I left behind. And that's where that's staying. The classroom is there. My new classroom is the, social media. And
absolutely, which is what you talked about wanting to do. So look at you now, girl. So, all right, real quick, because you got so many accomplishments, man, we're going to need 2 episodes.
Part 1, part 2.
Right. But anyway, so let's talk about Foundation Fighting Blindness. What inspired you to pursue a leadership role in Foundation Fighting Blindness?
Well, yes, meeting Mary Catherine and finding out more about the Foundation Fighting Blindness. Their mission is to drive the research to prevention, treatments, cures for inherited retinal diseases and age-related eye diseases like macular degeneration and glaucoma. Because eventually, again, if we are able to age gracefully, we will still go through hearing loss and vision loss. And so for me, I believe in science. I also believe in God and everything, but this organization is different from other organizations because that's what their focus is to drive the research. And that is important in today's day and age with all the medical advancements and technological advancements we have. There is the possibility of a cure in the future. There's already one treatment, and it's called Luxturna. So to
is this
me,
for RP?
For specific gene. Most of the clinical trials and things, I don't qualify because we don't know my gene yet.
Right.
But there is something out there. And again, that my basis of all of this is the hope that it gives, because that also drives me, the hope that one day I will have my vision restored, or if it just stops where it's at, I'll be cool too.
Yeah, right.
So
just stop progressing.
Yeah, stop progressing.
Just chill out. Exactly.
So that really is what's driving me as well. It gives me hope.
Yes, definitely. Any upcoming events that you are excited about with this?
Yeah, so Foundation Fighting Blindness, we just had a Visions Connection. We have an event to bring together doctors, people in the field, also some social events. But next year, there's a United in Visions conference in Fort Worth, Texas, in June. And that is also in partnership with the Retinal World Congress. So it's on a global scale. And to know that there are people, again, blindness is throughout the world. And I'm sure there's scientists and other people, too, that are working it around the world. We just may not know or have access to all that information. But to know that there will be a world conference here in our backyard, basically, in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited about that event next year.
Awesome.
That I've been planning to attend.
Yay. This is going to be so cool.
It is.
Very cool. All right. How has the Lighthouse of Houston kind of played a role in your development and your confidence?
First, by asking me to be on the podcast, obviously. I've
Yay.
been in the background on the scenes, attending all these events, but also sharing information. And what I've seen and love most about the Lighthouse, too, is that they partner and are involved with other events going on. So for me, again, now being the president of the Houston chapter of Foundation Fighting Blindness, I look to the Lighthouse as an example of how to partner with other organizations, how to be involved in other events, like a team thing. Again, we're all in this together.
Absolutely.
In different facets, but we're all in this together. And so they've been a role of leadership to me, of a great example of how I want to move forward with my leadership skills in all the organization and events that I am personally involved with.
Got it. All right, so we're going to wrap it up here, even though I hate to, because I could ask you 9 million more questions.
Yes.
But do you have any final thoughts or advice for anybody who's blind or low vision, or to any of our listeners and who's trying to make a difference in their communities?
I do, actually. I've been thinking about this podcast means a lot to me because I know we have all the listeners and viewers out there, and you are involved. So really, you might not realize it if you're listening right now or watching.
We appreciate you.
Yes, your involvement as a viewer listener is showing support for the podcast, for the Lighthouse of Houston, for the people that are featured on the podcast. So I would say continue to be involved if that's, what you can handle at this time. Trust me, it's a lot. I know, just the podcast is awesome, but also when you are ready, and I think I mentioned that in episode 2 last year, it's get involved with an organization that aligns with you, or that's something you want to get back to, because again, we struggle when we don't know what's out there to kind of help us, or we're not realizing again that we could still do the things we want. It's just going to look different, be different. Like for me, to give an example, I used to love and sing and do karaoke. So next year, I'm joining the choir.
That's you heard it here first, kids.
That's
cool.
Newsflash, I'm going to be in the choir.
Yay!
But no, because I realized that's going to bring me again that happiness and joy that I had when I did karaoke, and I'm so excited for that. But yes, get involved with something again that's that you're passionate about, and ask questions. And start slow. Again, everything when you're ready, but when you're ready, just go for it. Do it just like I did. But at the same time, like I said, for me, and I told you too, it was so overwhelming last year. And then this year was kind of crazy as well with all the things that happened.
Of course, it's life, baby.
Yes,
it's
but
life.
Next year, as we evolve and grow, because that was my theme for this year, was growth. And I did a lot of that.
Yep.
personal growth. But next year's theme is focus, because I have participated now in a pageant and a duathlon and leadership, and those are really things I'm going to hone into.
She's going to space
more.
next year, guys.
Yes. Who knows, maybe. But so this is out of this world. But, so that's why I'm saying to you, everybody out there, just get back into whatever, made you happy, and be a resource for someone else as well, and keep sharing the podcast. I talk about it all the time. I love it. I share people's episodes on my social media as well.
Yay.
And I'm so happy that people are listening and watching us.
Me too. Second that emotion.
Yay.
So, all right. So, cue the Alicia Keys. This girl is on fire.
Yes.
So, Marcela, thank you. Thank you for sharing your incredible journey with us today. And even in the face of loss, we can rise and grow and achieve the unexpected stuff. And it's so cool, man. So
You're
this
welcome.
is so great.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
again.
ma'am. Oh, you might be 3.0.
Next time we're gonna sing. Duet next time.
Okay, we go and rehearse before that.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. All right. So to our listeners, we hope that Marcela's journey inspires you to take the next step, whether it's seeking support, getting involved, or leading change. You can find more episodes of Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential wherever you get your podcast or on our YouTube channel. Be sure to follow us on social media for updates and visit our website, which is houstonlighthouse.org, to learn more about our mission. All right, guys, until next time, this is Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential. Continue to be empowered and break those barriers, y'all.